Morning everybody, welcome to this week's Business Bitesize, which is coming from the lovely city of Liverpool, as we're sat here at the UKIFDA 2022 Expo, UKIFDA being the UK Independent Fuel Distributors Association. So we had a good day yesterday. It's good to be back out meeting people again face to face. We've been working with oil distributors for several years, including helping them grow and ultimately helping them with their exit and succession. So if any of you ever been to these exhibitions, expos, you know there's generally a gala dinner at some point, and we had a gala dinner last night, really good dinner, and the guest speaker was one Conor O'Shea of Irish rugby fame, and Conor, really interesting talk about some musings, as he called it, about some of the things he's experienced and learnt from his career, both as a player and as a coach. And a couple of things he talked about. One was innovation and one was diversity. And I think the comments that he were making relevant to the fuel distribution industry, and actually the fuel industry in general, which is undergoing massive changes, lots of challenges being faced by the industry, driven by move to carbon neutral and climate change. And clearly innovation is really important to this industry, as it is to many. But the diversity, I think, is an interesting issue as well. So people talk about diversity, and I'd heard this previously in my role as a governor at Gloucestershire College, and Conor was making the same point in terms of his experience working with teams and squads of players. Diversity of thinking is what's key. So often I think we get into the loop of thinking about gender and culture and backgrounds. Actually, you can set all that aside. You just need to be thinking about diversity of thinking. Where does diversity of thinking come from? How can we get people that think in a different way, have different thoughts, have different ideas? How can we bring those into the team? And of course, one way to do that is to bring in people with different heritage, different gender, and so on and so forth. So the key is not to start there. The key, I think, is to think about that diversity of thinking. How do we generate different thoughts? How do we step outside of the box? Because ultimately it's that will contribute massively to innovation within our own businesses and within our own industries. And talk about climate change and the impact on the oil distribution sector, but actually if you think about COVID and all those other things that are having an impact on so many different businesses that we're essentially having often to start again, maybe this is the time we need to think of ourselves as a startup business again, because there's been so many changes, and the way to deal with those kind of challenges and that rapid change that we're all facing and have faced over the last 12 months or so is diversity of thinking, which will drive innovation. So looking forward to the rest of today. As I said, we certainly made contact with people that we haven't seen face to face for a while in the industry, had a really good dinner, and looking forward to another successful day, just building our contacts in this industry. So thanks for listening. Speak to you again soon.